The next part of this project involves you making a couple of graphs. The first graph you're going to make is the magnitude of your 20 earthquakes. Now, magnitude refers to how big or strong the earthquake is. So here's a little magnitude scale. Magnitude is measured on a scale of 1 to 10. Now, if an earthquake has a magnitude of 2.5 or less, we don't even feel those earthquakes. Those earthquakes are so small, we don't even feel them, but a machine, a computer could detect them. It's not until you get into like the 3s, the 4s, and the 5s that we can start to feel those earthquakes, but they really don't cause any damage. They're pretty minor. Not until you get to 5.5 to 6 range of earthquakes do you start to feel them, and they have very slight damage to buildings. In the 6s, 6.1 to 6.9, you're going to have major damage. And 7 to 7.9, you've got major damage. And then anything 8 or greater, you've got total destruction. Okay? So you're going to take a look at your magnitudes, and you can see here they are all pretty low. Okay, from my location. I've got 1 5-point right there. So I'm going to kind of look and see and count up how many different magnitudes I have. And I'm going to fill in this chart here on your magnitude graph. So you need to count up how many of each magnitude range you have. So for me, I have 0 earthquakes in the 0 to 1.9 range. I do have 15 earthquakes that fall in this range, and then I have 5 earthquakes that fall in this range. These 15 earthquakes are small, they're minor, we don't even really feel them, but these 5 earthquakes here would definitely be felt. And then I have 0 in the upper ranges of these earthquakes. So next, you're going to turn this data table into a graph, and that's what this is for. So to make your graph, you're going to click on the graph, and then this little drop-down menu will appear. Click on the down arrow button and click Open Source. This will open up your graph. So I already have a data table made for you, and you just need to enter in your specific data for your location. So once this loads, you will be able to enter in your data and then make your graph. So I have 0 earthquakes in this range. I have 15 in the next range, and then 5. And then you can see it's already filling in my bars for me. This is a bar graph because you are graphing ranges of numbers, and that's best represented with a bar graph. I do need to type in my titles and my labels. To do that, I'm going to click on my graph. Actually, you're going to double click, and a menu should appear. Here it is. And we're going to have to click on Customize, and then click on Chart and Axis Titles. Chart title, I need a title for this graph. You need to come up with a descriptive title. The word magnitude should be in your title, and the word of your location. So for me, Caribbean. Now, I'm not going to do not call your graph magnitude and your location. Come up with a much more descriptive, better title than that. But these are the 2 main important words that should be in your title. Then my x-axis is my horizontal axis. So I need a title or label that describes what these numbers mean. So type that here. You can delete x-axis label. And then same thing with the vertical axis, my y-axis. So these numbers over here, I need to type in what these numbers represent. So I need to come up with a label for there. When you're done, you can just X out. Now your graph should be done. You have your bars, you have your title, your y-axis label, and your x-axis label. Now, to get this on your project, all you got to do is hop back over to your project. And then here you're going to have this update button. Click that update button, and there you go. Your graph will automatically appear in this space. So go ahead and make your graph that represents your magnitudes of your earthquakes.